Hello and welcome to this video where we will discuss mappings, when to use them and how they work compared to arrays. Because both arrays and mappings are used to store multiple entries of data. The difference comes in how to access these bits of data. Because an array is just a list of multiple entries which you can iterate over. A mapping, on the other hand, is also a list of multiple items, but rather than being iterable, you use a key to access a single unique item within the mapping. To show you how this works, I've prepared a simple example contract which registers participants for a certain event. Within this contract, there is a single array named list participant. This array is simply a list of every participant which has indicated they will come to the event. Next to that there is a mapping called map participant. This mapping contains the address of everyone who has sent a reaction to the contract on whether they will be participating or not. And when you use the address of the participant as a key, it will point towards a boolean which will be either true or false depending on whether they participate in the event or not. Then for the third map for the second mapping, which is called index in list, which tracks where the address is within the array that lists the participants. Then there is also a constructor which will always be executed whenever the contract gets published, which adds the zero address to the zero index in the lists of participants. Then for the function participate, you can assign whether you want to join or not by pressing either true or false. So let's say I will participate in the event. A MetaMask pop-up will ask whether I'm sure I want to send this information to the blockchain. So while we wait for it, let's dive into this function. First of all, the function checks whether you assigned either true or false to the boolean join. It will assign this to the map participant for your address. So as soon as the transaction has gone through, my address will point to, or when you use my address as the key for map participant, it will point towards true, that I will join. Then there is a check whether I'm already in the list or not. So it uses the index in list with my address as the key for the mapping. As I'm not already in the list, there is no it doesn't point anywhere yet, so it's simply undefined. When it gets to the if statement, it checks whether the variable retrieved from the check is higher than 0. In this case it's not, so it will just skip the whole if statement. What the if statement does is it copies the last element in the array towards the current element that needs to be deleted, as it's already assigned to a previous entry. After this gets copied, the index in list gets updated. For my previous entry, it gets set to 0 since I don't have an index in the list anymore. Then for the element that was copied from the last spot in the array, it gets assigned the index that it was copied to. Then to remove the duplicate entry, the last element in the array gets popped out of the array and is simply deleted. Then after that's done, if it's needed, it will check if join is true or false. Now if it's true, it will add my address to the list of participants and also assigns the index for the entry. Then last of all, there is a function which simply returns the number of participants by returning the length of the list participant array -1 to account for the 0 address we added. And that's all. I hope this was helpful in understanding mappings.